arrested him for sneaking in the window, that he was sitting watching that train go by for almost 5 hours in the night.
Wow. I remember three things specifically. Excuse me. As soon as I dropped acid, as they say, and back then, at least one of the LSD options of choice was called eight-way orange barrel. Okay, so I don't know what the eight-way meant, but so we dropped the orange barrel, and as soon as I did it, I just said, I thought to myself, what the hell is wrong with you? You never did anything like this. So I didn't panic, but I was kind of like anxious about, I can't believe I just did that. So we go down to the common area of the dorm. There's a movie called, I think it's The Professionals or whatever. It's something that happened in Mexico. Americans go down there. It's part of this whole deal. And the first thing that happened that made me think, damn, is there was a woman, an actress, famous at the time, running up this hill. She had like this long kind of skirt thing with the underlying, I don't know this stuff, like petticoat, I don't know, but the white thing underneath, it's almost the same length as the skirt. And as she runs up this hill, I see neon colors every time the white thing shows. So that was the first thing. Secondly, we come back upstairs to the rooms, and a couple of guys are playing Frisbee in the hallway, right? And the Frisbee, just instead of being, these guys are throwing it well, instead of this smooth kind of action that a Frisbee makes when you throw it perfectly, it was like clicking, and I could hear the noise. It was like clicking back and forth. And then finally, I go into the bathroom, to the urinal, and I'm standing there, and the wall is like breathing out and breathing back in, and breathing out and breathing back in, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to close my eyes. This will go away. Well, then I open them. I opened them. It did not go away, dude. So that's my memory of acid.
Oh my gosh! Now, one of our listeners that I will not disclose who it is just tweeted us and said, "Smoked laced pot once, sat in my car for 30 degree weather for about 4 hours."
Apparently, we have some post or past druggies listening to the show, dude.
Things like that are the type of Darwin Award-winning activities that thin the herd.
Again, I mean, if someone, like, had I followed through, a la Timothy Leary, like, oh my God, this is awesome, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Yeah, I think so. Although obviously, dude was successful. But I don't know how I did it. Like and I stopped smoking pot as well after I graduated from college. I mean, almost immediately. Now, that does not mean that occasionally along the way I didn't, okay, fine, that'd be all right. But it was never an issue for me after school. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I never smoked pot once. I never have.
Seriously?
Never, not once.
Even like you didn't do Bill Clinton and smoke it but not inhale?
No. No. Although
were you around it? Were you around it where other people were smoking?
Not a ton. Although my most recent experience I have two recent experiences around it. I was at a club in Hollywood about 6 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Downtown Hollywood. The place is packed to the gills. Music is pumping. I'm drinking Tito's vodka. Danny was drinking something girly. And I couldn't believe how many people were smoking weed inside this club.
See, dude, I'm surprised you didn't just get the buzz from the crowd.
I did. I definitely got a little bit of a concert.
See, I've been to several Jimmy. I love Jimmy Buffett, as you know. Been to several Jimmy concerts, and dude, all you have to do is inhale, and just breathe, and you can get kind of a contact high.
Yeah, I got a contact high at oh gosh, this was probably 17, 18, 19 years ago. I went to a Boston concert.
Didn't you like it though?
Loved it. Yeah. Sunday, I was walking into the mall, parked right in front of Nordstrom, was walking into Nordstrom, and I walked behind this girl that I just happened to notice she was walking away from her car. She was two stalls away from me, walking away from her car at the same point I was. We were a couple hundred feet away from the front of the store, and I watched her blowing wafts of weed, finishing her joint, walking.
That was almost poetic.
Yeah.
Blowing wafts of weed. I like
Blowing
that.
wafts of weed. Smoked the joint right up to the front of the store. Stood out in front where the little ashtray was. Took a couple, three more incredibly deep hits.
Tokes, yes.
Tokes. Smushed it out into the ashtray. Exhaled and then walked into Nordstrom.
That is awesome. Potheads and Nordstroms.
Oh God, it killed. I was just totally laughing, man.
See, dude, that would never happen in Indiana. Unfortunately, but it would never happen in Indiana. You know what I'm thinking as we're talking here? This is, again, you people that are listening, Fitzgerald, by the way, among you, you need to tell people to listen to us because, you know, as astute and brilliant as we are at analyzing politics and, frankly, anything in the world, these little kind of risks we go on, Michael, I think that's what makes the whole price of admission worth it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. Another listener that I will not identify as well just messaged me. I don't understand. I would rather smoke pot than drink.
I just saw that. And I agree. But let me throw one more thing in. Then let's move on to something slightly more serious. Most avid pot smokers, and this goes back to when I was in college, were either smoked cigarettes before they smoked pot or became cigarette smokers during the process. I have never, and this relates to your never smoking pot thing, I've never even taken a puff off a cigarette. Ever.
Really?
Ever.
Oh, that's interesting. I had my last smoke of a cigarette a year ago, May, and I had probably been smoking for a decade.
Wow.
Yeah, I started smoking cigarettes when I was in my early 30s.
That's probably why you don't have any hair anymore.
That absolutely could be. One of our other guys who's already mentioned some of their alternative activities just sent a note that he too had never purchased a pack of cigarettes.
Good for him, man.
Same with another one of these pot smoking junkies that is messaging me. Also, never smoked cigarettes.
See? I thought I was unique. Kudos to you guys.
No, at least two of the folks that have already just sent some sort of anecdotal stories about their pot endeavors. Never purchased, never smoked a single cigarette.
Good for them, man. You know what? I mean, to me, first of all, cigarette smoke, whether it's happening right now or stale cigarettes afterwards or somebody across the room doing it at a restaurant, which can't happen anymore here in Indiana. To me, as disgusting as it was, I mean, and listen, I understand, the addiction, right, to nicotine and the whole bit. But to me, back then, since I never smoked a cigarette, to me, after I really appreciated marijuana, there's I looked at cigarettes as kind of like caffeine-free pop, right? Like, why the hell smoke it if you're not going to get, what I'm getting from dope? So
well, that's one of the other comments here. They said no benefit. Why smoke a cigarette? There's no benefit.
Exactly, dude. It's like, no question.
Right. So anyway, folks, welcome to the 420 show. These are your hosts, Jamaican refugee,
former pothead Mike Miller,
ganja aficionados, Oh gosh, that's
See, dude,
hilarious.
we just need to like. This is just another segment that we need to have on a weekly basis. I mean, we've talked about, we need to have a cooking segment. We talk about food. We need to definitely have a movie segment. Of course, I'll go to the bathroom while you and Jessica are running that. And then I think we need to have. I think we just need to have a ganja segment as well. I think we're headed somewhere.
I think you might be right, man. You know what we need to do? We need to have a live broadcast then.
I
That
think, well, I mean, you're in sunny Southern Cal, but maybe at least by next year, that huge marijuana fest thing that they have in Denver. Maybe we need to
wait,
make
isn't
sure.
that called daytime?
Yeah, exactly. But I think they've had it now for 2 years. Maybe this was the first year. But I think we're talking about broadcasting live from CPAC Radio Row. I think maybe next year as well, we need to maybe broadcast live from that pot rally in Denver, dude.
Oh my gosh! And I mean that would just establish our libertarian CV amazingly,
Once, I mean, it would prove that we're real.
and it would prove that we're actually real.
Yeah, that was whatever. Listen, I gotta go toke up. I'll be right back. But no, I mean, all right.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
very funny.
All right, so we got like what do we got? Like 4 minutes, dude. I don't think we have time to start something else. We got a lot of good stuff though to talk about the last half hour.
I know, and we're just kind of riffing off of this. I will mention this. I'm looking into. Diane just sent me. There is an event, and it's a bummer that you're not here in Southern California. What do you think of this lineup? One of the radio stations out here. Has got a big thing going next month. Bobby Jindal, Rick Perry, Carly Fiorina, the Politichicks, Evan Sayet, Larry Elder are all speaking out. The idea is bringing the conservative wave to California. February 21st, this thing is happening. Um, I see this kind of thing, and I will probably end up going to it.
I would go to it if I was there. Yeah.
But I think about
It's a
this.
non-starter, isn't it? Because, like you've said, okay, about California, we said it about Oregon. You get out of L.A., San Francisco, other liberal pockets on the coast, and you got some conservative folks there. So, I mean, my kind of off the top of my head response is, you're never going to convert those people. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. I mean, sometime down the road, maybe some of them, a la Dennis Miller, if they come to this reckoning that, damn it, liberalism doesn't work. But I think in my personal humble opinion, I think it's kind of a non-starter.
Well, they're doing it out in Riverside, which is, Inland Empire, and to a certain extent out there, it's choir preaching.
Exactly.
So sometimes those things are they create an artificial sense of well, it's like, oh well, gosh, everybody here in this it's the opposite of that famous comment Upper West Side in New York after Nixon won. The socialite lady said Richard Nixon won, but I don't know anybody that voted for him.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, it's the same thing, the choir preaching thing. I mean, when I started blogging, years back, I thought, dude, everybody believes me, or agrees with me, because I get all these, these responses, these comments at the end of posts that, oh my God, So I'm thinking it didn't take me long to realize, dude, wait, I'm preaching to the choir.
Wait a second. When you write something, you get people that respond, oh my God?
Well, not necessarily, oh my God, but agreeing and how great I am and the whole bit. All right, we're under 30 seconds, man.
Yeah, so folks, right after the news, we'll be back. If you'd like to call in, please do. We've had one already. It was great. 412-567-6879. We'll be right back.